Well, see, e-commerce companies have a very interesting challenge. The challenge is they can't always predict traffic. They like to, and they try their level best, but it's very hard to predict. Which means if they can't predict it, they have to over-provision their infrastructure so that they can support those occasional spikes. For instance, if you're a clothing brand, let's say, you have Diwali coming up or some festival coming up, you're anticipating certain traffic. So what will you do? You will over provision that. Let's have more CPU, more memory, more everything else, so that we can support the spike that we're expecting tomorrow, assuming tomorrow is the festival. Now you may or may not hit that traffic spike. If you hit it, great, congratulations. But if you didn't provision to that level, your site is going to crash and you will be a meme for the next few weeks. But let's say you over provisioned and people didn't actually reach, the traffic was not as high as you expected. You're paying for something that didn't happen and you'll keep on waiting. And then when the spike event is all gone, you'll also have some time latency for you to auto scale down. There's a good chance you may or may not have auto scale, but you will scale down and scale up. Now, managing all of this, people are doing it today, but usually it is extremely manual. Either if you're using AWS, GCP, Azure, or any of the hyperscalers, you will be manually setting up machines and manually changing the machines. Plus, it's not as simple as you click a button and it auto scales. It doesn't happen like that. Scaling up and scaling down requires figuring out what kind of scale up you want. You want vertical, you want horizontal, what kind of parameters you're changing, and what kind of ratios you want to maintain for your CPUs and your CPU and memory and so on and so forth. You have to think about a lot of things. So when that spike event is happening, you really have to respond on second by second basis, and that's tricky. If you have those capable engineers, I don't think you will be listening to me right now. But to handle such situations, Zopdev has a very different approach. First of all, we use Kubernetes behind the scene. We use Prometheus and a few other tools to ensure that we are measuring what's happening in the cloud, in your cloud at all times. And then we auto scale up or auto scale down depending on what's happening. So this way, you do not have to over provision exactly. You just have to set up the extremes, the minimum and the maximum across different parameters. And once you're done, you're good to go, right? So this allows you to never over provision. You can choose to, but you don't have to. This is one of the main pain points of e-commerce. The other thing is, if you are one of the lucky few in e-commerce where you have a lot of transactions happening per second, etc., you need high availability. You need zero downtime. You need databases which respond quickly, etc. We provide high availability databases. We provide high availability networking transactions. The service-to-service microservices that we provide, they have very robust communication in between them, which have been battle tested for millions of daily active users and transactions. So you can be rest assured that your architecture is not going to fail, and you can just relax. You can actually, for the first time in many years perhaps, you can just relax that your infra is not going to fail you. Others we can't guarantee.